You know the feeling. You spend hours drilling complex material late into the night, but when you wake up, your mind is a complete blank. Or maybe you spend weeks mastering a piece on the piano, take 2 months off, and find your fingers have forgotten exactly where to go. It feels like a personal failing. But research from Google DeepMind suggests that even the most advanced artificial intelligence systems suffer from this exact same memory failure. If you train a transformer-based neural network to play grandmaster-level chess, and then teach that same system to write poetry, it will lose the ability to play chess. The new task displaces the old one. Computer scientists call this catastrophic forgetting. They view it as an architectural byproduct of how these systems learn, not a simple bug that can be patched with code. Humans and machines both experience rapid memory decay. But the mechanical reasons behind why you forget prove that your biological brain operates with a level of sophistication that silicon chips still can't match. To understand the difference, look at how an AI stores data. A neural network holds information in a finite set of mathematical weights. It acts like a single, flat sheet of paper. When you feed that system new data, it has nowhere to put it except directly on top of the old data. It must modify its existing weights to satisfy the requirements of the new task. Learning a new subject effectively overwrites existing connections. This is why the forgetting is catastrophic. The old skill doesn't slowly fade away. The training process modifies the weight configuration to fit new data, leaving no trace of the previous logic. An AI's memory functions as a single whiteboard. To write down a new equation, you have to wipe away the old one. A 2025 study from the Chinese Academy of Sciences highlights exactly how your brain bypasses this problem. We use a modular storage structure. When you learn something new, your brain builds a distinct neural pathway alongside existing ones, rather than modifying the original circuitry. This means much of what we consider forgotten is often a matter of accessibility. Because it hasn't been used recently, that specific pathway dims into silence to save energy, making the information difficult to retrieve without a specific trigger. Because the physical structure remains, you can perform memory reconsolidation. You just have to reactivate the dormant pathway, and the lost skill can surge back to life. Beyond modular storage, your brain possesses an active, asynchronous data transfer mechanism that entirely evades AI systems, and all of this happens while you sleep. This diagram outlines memory consolidation. Every night, your brain actively sweeps temporary data out of the short-term holding area in the hippocampus and hardcodes it into the neocortex for permanent storage. Google is now trying to map this biological process onto artificial architecture. Their newest AI model, Hope, is essentially attempting to simulate human sleep cycles to prevent data loss. Human memory relies on a non-destructive data management strategy, a sophisticated biological protection mechanism that top engineers are spending billions to replicate. Since your memory relies on physical pathway reactivation and overnight data transfers, standard rote memorization works against your biology. To learn effectively, you need Protocol 1, spaced repetition. Instead of cramming, schedule deliberate shocks to those neural pathways at intervals of 1 day, 3 days, 7 days, and finally 14 days to force the connections to thicken. Protocol 2 targets the transfer mechanism. By feeding your hippocampus your most critical study material exactly 1 hour before bed, you position that data to be the first thing your brain permanently archives overnight. Protocol 3 is cross-modal encoding. If you read a concept, draw it out, and then speak it aloud, you force 3 separate physical inputs to lock into a single memory. If one pathway dims, the others keep the knowledge accessible. And finally, Protocol 4, active retrieval. Reading a textbook is passive. The physical struggle of closing the book and forcing your brain to recall the information without looking is the specific trigger that physically reinforces the pathway. Look at your own study habits. Which of these 4 biological mechanisms are you currently starving of action? A simple way to start is to save this video right now. Coming back to watch it tomorrow is your first session of active spaced repetition. Your memory system is capable of retaining a lifetime of complex data without overwriting the basics. You just have to follow its biological operating manual.